Learners and extended family, I'm back with another insight video, and I'm excited. When I reached out to this guest, I said, would you be interested in doing insight? They said yes, and I was over the moon. That's an idiomatic expression. So without further ado, let them know your name and where are you from?
Hey everybody, my name is Arash. People know me as English with Arash on Instagram. First of all, thank you to Teacher Will for letting me be part of Insight. It's really a good project. Okay, so my name is Arash and I live in Tehran, which is actually a very big city in Iran. My city, Tehran, is actually the capital of Iran with a population of 13 million people. I kinda like the hustle and bustle of the city, and at nights I usually stay awake a bit longer, playing the guitar by the window, looking at the empty streets, which were very busy during the day. I learned playing the guitar when I was a child from my father, and now I really love it, and I do it to relax. Well, the next thing about me is I'm a student. So I study mathematics at university. So one day maybe I'll be able to teach math. I also enjoy spending time in the nature over the weekends. The last but not the least, I'm a teacher as well. So I teach English to teenagers and adults. Okay, first with that money, what I would do is to help the people that are actually around me, and I see that they have the ability, they have the skills, they just need a little bit more money and facilities in order to become successful. But then they're not becoming successful because they don't have the money. So first I would try to help those people with those, let's say, natural abilities that they have. And second, I would like to travel to these English-speaking countries, especially America and England, to see, like, because I have been studying English for quite a long time, and I see that they say this phrase is American, this one is British, this is formal, this is informal. But then when I go on Instagram and talk to native speakers, I see that they are mostly using them interchangeably. So I really want to go there and see, like, what is really happening there. Well, my favorite day of the week is actually Wednesday for two reasons. The first reason is that it's one of the days that my university is off. So I don't go to university and I get some free time and I can do my leisure activities. The second reason is that I have a class on Wednesday nights, an English class, so it doesn't make the whole day boring, so I have something to get prepared for. And also Teacher Will's live Instagrams that are usually on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights. They are just the icing on the cake. Plus, I know that Thursdays and Fridays are coming up because they are the holidays in my country. So I know that something cool is coming up. Well, my favorite actor is Dwayne Johnson. And how I got to know him was when I was a kid. I loved to watch wrestling, and his ring name is The Rock. So I got to know him with the name The Rock. And then later when he became an actor and he played in several movies, I got to know that his real name is Dwayne Johnson. I loved some of the movies that he has played in. I don't remember, but one of them that was super funny was The Central Intelligence. I really loved it. Well, the biggest misconception that people might have about me is that they expect me to behave the same way as I do when I am speaking Farsi. Because for me, when you learn another language, when you're speaking in the foreign language, you might tend to behave in a little bit of a different way. So for me, learning another language might result in a different character. So when I am speaking in Farsi, I might not behave the same as I do when I'm speaking in English, because for me, I think that I tend to be a little bit shy when I am speaking Farsi, but it's not true in English. So that would be the biggest misconception people have about me, especially the people who are very close to me and to whom I have never spoken English. Well, that's a good question. I would say that there are two main reasons why I became a teacher. So the first reason was that it all started when I was a student at English classes. I really loved my teachers because they really helped me and inspired me to be better every single day. So the first reason was that, okay, if I have such a nice feelings towards other people, like a teacher, why should I not do the same thing so people will have the same feelings toward me? The second reason was that there was a lot of creativity that you could put into teaching. Now, there might be people out there that say teaching is boring, you have to do the same thing, but for me, or I think at least for most of the teachers that I know, teaching is not done in only one way, and there are thousands of ways. For example, you want to teach present perfect, there's not just one way. If you go to the teacher's classes, you will see that everybody is teaching it in his or her own style. And I think that's the beautiful thing about teaching. Like, the amount of creativity that you can put into this is just awesome. So that was the second reason that I was really interested in becoming a teacher. And there's a quote by Confucius, a great Chinese philosopher, that goes like, choose a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. So that's one of the reasons I really chose teaching, and I started doing it because that was something I loved. That's a very good question, because I think that it is something that can really prevent learners from speaking fluently. So I say that the first step is to recognize the fact that you're shy and take actions accordingly. Because if you do not know that you're shy and then you keep going to classes and keep nagging, why do I not learn English? Why do I not learn English? Then you waste your time. So be aware and act accordingly. Well, there are two things that you can do. The first one is to answer the following question. What is the worst thing that can happen if I come out of my shell, speak to people, reach out to them, and have a little conversation with them? What really happens? Have you ever asked yourself? So I want you to think about it. I'm not going to answer the question. I just leave it to you. Think about it, answer it, and I hope that the answer will help you overcome your shyness. The second thing that you can do is to start in the situations that you feel more comfortable. You might be shy in the class, you might be shy with the teacher, but you're not shy with your brother, with your family members, with your close friends. So listen, start in the situations that you feel more comfortable. Start talking to yourself maybe if you think that you're too shy. Then go to close friends, and then you'll be able to bring it to the classroom. Just start in small increments, and I'm sure that you will be able to bring it to the classroom. Well, I have two suggestions for you. The first one is to use the textbooks. We have very good books like vocabulary in use. You just have to find your level and use it. And the second way that I would say is to talk to yourself in your mind. When you're talking to yourself in the target language, English, or the language that you want to learn, you will probably understand that there are concepts and things that you want to say, and you can say them in your native language, but you cannot say them in the target language. So write them down and Google them later. That's a very good way because they are somehow related to your life, and you have created the need to learn them because you wanted to say them but you didn't know them. About the first one, vocabulary in use or using textbooks generally, I would highly recommend that after you learn a word, try to connect it to your life, personalize it. So if you learn the word cream, for example, don't just read the examples and then move on to the next one. If you learn the word cream, then look at the things around you and take something that you have, and it's a tube of cream, and say that I have some foot cream or hand cream. So then in your life, whenever you see this, it reminds you of the word that you just studied. The way I usually teach grammar is to create the need for that grammar, and then after setting up this situation, I try to expose my students to the sentence that is following that grammar rule. For example, if I'm supposed to teach you should have plus past participle, I would do it like I had an exam yesterday, and the day before that I didn't study. I had a lot of free time, but I didn't study, and I failed this important exam. Why? Why did I not study? That was a big problem. Why did I not study? I should have studied. So by that, I will create the need for the students to use that grammar, and I will exposure them to this sentence. Then we can work on more examples, and I will ask the students to give their own examples. So there are actually two sides. The first side, grammar is important. The other one, it's not. Well, for me, grammar is part of the language, so I cannot simply skip it. But depending on what you want to do, it might differ, the importance of grammar. If you want to become an English teacher, or if you want to get a job that is professionally about English in some way, then you need grammar. My recommendation to you is study grammar and study it well. But if you just want to learn English to speak or communicate with other people, well, you might not need to know the names of the grammar. You just have to find a way to learn it in any way and use it in order to communicate. So from my perspective, depending on what you want to do, it's going to differ. Decide what you want to do and act and work accordingly. Well, my favorite slang, I would say it's crash. And my favorite idiom is, when the cat's away, the mice will play. They are really interesting to me. I don't know why, but the idiom, I just like how it sounds. And it means when the cat's away, it means when the boss is not at the workplace. The mice will play means that the employees are going to do whatever they want to do. They're going to enjoy their time. So there's the fact that the bus is away takes some of the heat off them. And the other one, crash, the slang means to sleep. For example, I didn't feel like going upstairs to get to my bedroom, so I just crashed on the sofa in front of the TV. So if you have the money, I recommend that you take a class. But then if you don't, or if you want something else to add to the class, I highly recommend, again, that you talk to yourself. It's really interesting to see how your brain gets more comfortable with the language when you practice it, even super simple sentences. Even those super simple sentences, they will build up your confidence and they will make your mind function better in the foreign language. Plus, you can find speaking partners either on internet or face-to-face and practice with them. Do not seek teachers all the time, because it's not just the teacher who can help you. Because when you're speaking to a speaking partner, you're thinking in English. You want to say something that makes sense and you can communicate. That amount of time you spend thinking about it is already improving your speaking. I believe that fluency is something that I put above accent, because I do find it much easier to listen to somebody who is fluent And I really find it super boring to listen to somebody who is not fluent, regardless of whether they have an American or a British accent, because they keep thinking and making too many pauses. That makes it really boring to listen to. But again, if you think that accent is something that you prefer or you like it, it motivates you and it pushes you forward, well then do what? Go do the shadowing technique and it will help you both with your pronunciation and accent. But again, fluency for me is way more important. I have always wanted to make a video, not actually one video, a series for conditional sentences, going through type 0 to type 3, then teaching mixed conditionals, because I think that I do it in my own specific way and I have my own approach, but I haven't had the time to do it because it's really time consuming and I don't really want to just wing it and do it in a very, very quick period of time. So I'm looking forward to getting some good free time and then I will do it. I met somebody this morning and we became friends. So I know him, he knows me, okay, cool. But do I know him completely? Do I know his character? No. It's only after 2 to 3 months of communication, giving help to and getting help from each other, that comes the real insight. So for me, insight is that complete understanding of somebody or something which actually happens over time, not overnight. Well, I think that vision kinda helps you to not get lost. Do you remember the time when Teacher Will said, take a piece of paper, on one side write the things that you have already achieved, the things you're good at, and on the other side writes the things that you want to improve on, areas of development. With that map, you'll be able to see where in the map you stand. And then you can move smarter. Well, for me, Teacher Will is just great. He's very active on Instagram. He does a lot of things. For me, Teacher Will is more of a person who kind of motivates me. But do you want to know more about him? 3, 2, 1, go.
So do yourself a favor.
He goes savage.
If you want. You don't have to.
Ain't the same was trying to get me in
He
trouble.
laughs with
Subscribe.
us.
Steve, subscribe to YouTube. I'll pin it later, Ain't the same. I'll pin it
He
later.
talks to
All right.
learners.
As much as you have been on my... Subscribe to the YouTube channel and call it a day. Alright? This is... for those
He
of you that are
teaches
thinking
us.
the tool for brevity is used particularly with writers.
He believes in collaboration and helps us.
Alright.
With all that in mind, Teacher Will is not a traditional teacher. He doesn't give you all the food. He gives you some of the food and he asks you to be proactive and go get the rest and then come back and ask your questions. So for me, Teacher Will is a good teacher from my perspective, because I think that the more the learners are proactive, the more they are involved in the learning process, the better they learn.
All right. Any final comments to improve one's life or their English? The floor is yours.
My final comment is, if you have a goal that you want to achieve, regardless of whether it's English or anything else in your life, nobody can help you more than you. Nobody. Even the strictest teachers around the world come together, they still cannot teach you English if you do not take the responsibility. That's it. Now again, thank you Teacher Will for letting me be part of Insight. I hope that this was useful for the learners.